think like for me, the thing I love most about being a man is the ability to, and you will see it in my story, is the ability to completely reinvent and recreate yourself.
At least in a season, there's about 8 episodes.
Yeah.
6 of them, you'll mention South Sea.
No.
And that's
Oh, we're having too much fun here.
the Gong experience, right? And I asked you before we rolled, do you want to go there? There might be somebody in that Gong experience.
Yeah.
And if they see the other side, this guy in the Nikes, there's like a green, there's
a path.
Because you said that was
so
winning.
the Gong experience, like,
Yes.
okay.
Yeah.
So this is literally
The mountain.
The mountain.
Yeah.
So around 2017, man, like
Yeah.
I experienced this like radical shift. So 2016, new job, new relationship, new, like everything is like fantastic. Like the seeds that I thought I'd planted before, I was now starting to think, and the way I rationalized it is now I'm reaping the fruits.
Yeah.
Like here I am with this fantastic person who I love. Here I am with this job that I really, really enjoy.
Yeah.
And like my graduation pictures were literally just me like
Just, yeah.
I'm winning life now, you know, like yeah. So I've worked in all these. So I'd by that time I had considerable work experience. So like when I got my next job, so I started working for a company called TI, and the University of Humboldt was doing a survey for land corruption at that time. And yeah, I can say these things because the book is being published. So,
Okay, fair.
So
I saw you check yourself.
Yeah. I can say these things because it's already been published. So we did work with Transparency International and the University of Humboldt to. So University of Humboldt has this interesting program for development where students from Germany come to Kenya and look at Kenyan problems and try and come up with solutions. Basically, they're teaching the guys about rural development by bringing them to Kenya, which is a good call.
Yeah.
So I worked with them and co-authored this book called Land Corruption Risk Mapping. So that time, I'm telling you, flying.
Yeah.
I also now had a dissertation that I wrote now on, because the Cisco experience, remember before I was into oil and gas, but the Cisco experience made me love tech more. So I kind of created a passion for cloud computing and data protection. And then I wrote a dissertation on that. So when I finished that year, which is 2016, I got a job offer to work for a certain software company. So I could now, use that skill because they saw my dissertation and they're like, oh my God, like this is amazing. We're thinking about expanding into Kenya. Then 2017 rolled around, and I was supposed to go to law school that year because I graduated in 2016. So 2017, I was supposed to go to law school. What does Oscar do? Oscar decides, hey, let me defer this and focus on work and all these exciting new things.
Say less. Yep.
I'm not gonna say anything.
And then
so now it's an election year. That's the part that little Oscar didn't know.
Right.
And what happens in election years, and you'll see it even this year, is that if you're running a business that's sales based, the ROI of that business is very much dependent on volume of sales. Like if you're not able to actually hit volume when it comes to making sales, and if you're actually not able to create a sustainable business that has a fort during that period of time, you're going to be financially stressed as an organization. Exactly.
Yeah.
And in Kenya, the thing about it is, before COVID, we used to have a 5-year business cycle. If you're caught in the downturn of that business cycle as a business, it can be a race to the bottom. And so that's something I learned while working because when I had no business experience, and shout out to that company for believing in me. But like I was working now with actual distributors of our product, and like I could see kind of what, the effects of the business on small and medium-sized enterprises. An election year for some people is bumper year. It's a nice time to let's go and condense power. But for the small business owner, it's hell because everyone's conservative. Nobody's spending. So what that ended up happening was that the business I was working for wasn't doing as well. And so what ended up happening is now guys started getting laid off. Right. And meanwhile, because I've made some money, I'm in my youth, I'm out here enjoying.
Of course.
Obviously, the net effect of that is the relationship that I've started to work on campus starts to suffer because somebody's looking at me like, you're focused. What's this character that I'm seeing? So then so I kind of contributed to my own demise because in the sense that instead of looking for content, because there's no content where someone is told like, when you hit this level at life, start thinking about saving,
Yeah,
start thinking about
look
investing.
forward, not now.
Yeah. And if you're going through emotional pain, don't express that emotional pain by spending on partying.
Yeah.
Now, the content that was online was alpha.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
dude, like, if you know, if a relationship breaks down, you know what you do? Go to a club, spend all the money, you know?
Yeah.
Get another one.
Yeah.
Get another. Yeah, like, you know, that whole, like, you're the prize.
Yeah.
Okay, you are. Don't
Yeah.
forget. But you are.
Gentlemen.
But like, at the same time, like, you don't have to be self-destructive.
Yeah.
And like, there was no content out there that was like telling me self-destructive behavior isn't helping. And the fact that you're seeing all these stresses doesn't necessarily mean that you have to contribute to your own kind of injuries.
Yeah.
So then just the downturn went. Like, finally that company had to close down in Kenya because there were no sales.
Gosh.
So I was favored. So all of us had to go home. I decided to go now to campus in 2018, go back to law school in 2018. Obviously, the relationship, because of my silliness, died. So like, that emotional pain was left. So how do you deal with losing a relationship you're really passionate about, losing a job you're really passionate about, losing kind of a situation that was very stable, being the star boy among your crew? And here's something else that you'll notice, right? When you're up here, all the guys are like, oh, this is our lion, this is our nana, this is our what. Everyone's there with you.
Everyone.
But wait till the crash happens.
Yeah. When it rains, it falls down.
So when I moved to, so I had to, he calls it Ngong. So I moved house. So I decided, I need to kind of clear my space. So I moved to Ngong, which is about like 14 kilometers from Nairobi. And I decided like to like start building life from there. One of the most fantastic experiences I've ever had, because while I was there is when I decided to like now do the work to repair myself. And all the people who I met there, unfortunately, we were scattered. I feel like all of us went there for that specific period of time to just heal and reset. And like when I was going through that great reset, you know, like now figuring out like, okay, what does it mean to be a guy doing all the crazy things that I could do it in this place of solitude. And like that incubation period of my life where I was alone and I was like figuring out what I wanted, the literature I was exposing myself to, the books I was exposing myself to, Jordan Peterson, and like the way I always tell you, like this guy is actually transformative if you take your time. And that time of isolation for my transformation, that really allowed me to like now contribute the way I do.
What's the main thing you learned during that isolation period? Like the one thing that you took from it?
I think the whole experience from 2017 to that transformation, like people call it that, but like that period for me, the thing I learned the most was you can be right. You can be absolutely right to feel certain things. But justice is not something that is earned. Justice is the rare thing. You know, in your life, you might sit down and think, you're right, so you're not entitled to suffer pain or to suffer loss. You can be absolutely right, by the way. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. The observations are correct, but the pain is still there.
I think it's because we're just fed the narrative since we're a child that at the end of the movie, it all works out.
Exactly.
It works out. If you did bad at the end of the movie, the good guy's going to come.
The good guy's going to come and win.
Superman's always coming.
Hey, Superman's always. You're out here saying, you're out here thinking that just because you're a good person, you're always going to like be in a certain reality. That's not the truth. You can be a good person, but still have to.
Bad things, I was having this conversation literally with my mother. We were like, because something bad happened to us, like from someone outside. And then she was like, don't worry, if you do. And I was like, Mom, no, he might be fine. He might be absolutely fine. He might thrive.
Exactly. You might be. And this is something, you've touched me. This is something, I have a friend of mine, his name is Ndongo Moshemi. And I told you the thing that we do together, like that private thing. And like we're going to go somewhere. But it involves prayer, it's nothing crazy, where we go and pray. Ndongo Moshemi watched the whole thing, the whole thing unfold. Like we were in situations where it's just me and him. And like the question I always used to ask him is, where is the justice? Like I don't see, like where is the, like, what exactly? I admit that there's some things I've made wrong, but like, is it worth this? Is it worth this?
Pain match.
Does the pain,
action, right?
does it, like, is it worth what I'm going through right now? And you know what Ndongo and I determined, and like we follow this law till today. Time will tell. Time will always tell. Like if you're the type of person who okay, now you're causing pain at people, and you think for a second, that at some point down the line, like you will not suffer for that thing that you have done.
Yeah.
It happens. And most people are like, I admit that sometimes the good people suffer for nothing, right? And even you cause suffering as a person, because no one is entirely good or evil. You'll always find that there's kind of a baseline. But like every action you make contributes to a chain of events that are invisible completely to you.
For sure.
For example, for us, we did Mantalk. We started it. We said, okay, let's try and just be that positive voice and see what happens. Our lunch was paid for the first time.
Yeah, we shout that guy out.
Shout out to Bill.
That was the most incredible moment.
Yeah.
Because you can think you're just doing your thing.
Yeah.
Tunnel vision. No, and you're thinking about, no, my goal is this. Our goal is there.
Yeah.
Right? But then we were taken aback by someone that's saying, listen, what you've done so far has done this for me.
Yeah.
Like, and he was like, it's been transformative. Let me pay for your lunch. We said, what?
What? Yeah.
Because that meeting, we're planning a year ahead and what you want to achieve. So it's really nice to have those moments to be
like yanked into the second.
Like,
you've done this now.
Yeah.
And time will always tell. Time is always like that. You might be thinking, like, for example, you might sit down and think, okay, this person's gotten away with it. But like, okay, fine. Sit back, really, and analyze the context of your situation. If you're really going to do the self-work and the self-development and the drive, in the end, you will always see the results. But if you don't, you will also see the results.
For sure. Because around you in your environment, other people are doing it.
Exactly.
So by nature of life, you will be left behind. So that's like you up until this point, right?
Okay.
If you remember when we were in Carol Tea Lounge once, right?
Let's go.
Yeah, and we were talking about, because we do lunches to get to know each other better. Like, we start this thing, you can come on set and leave, but to sit down and we had a proper chat about why are we doing what we're doing, even outside of like Mantalk. Why are you going hard at your career? Why are you thinking about, going away to further develop your education? Why am I thinking of wanting to develop my businesses and a market to help other young businesses? And the answer that you gave me was incredible, because it was even what we're recording on that video we sent off, that you said to me that your goal is to be able to be that guy you can come to when your friend's kids need something. So you want to go to the top of the mountain and say, guys, how do we get up here? I want to know where that came from, and to go into that a little bit, like your goal and why your goal is related to helping other people. Like, where does that come from?
Do you see, so the chain of events so far in my life has been that kind of the brotherhoods that are formed, right? Like me and you now. And then we have my friends Alex, Ndongo, Hassan. These people, shout out to them. These are the people who grew up in South Sea, grew up with in high school. All of these people have contributed so significantly to who I am as a person, right? And for me, if I sit down and put a goal that's self-enveloping, like for Oscar wants the big house, the big car, the beautiful girl. I've experienced all that. In my time when I was winning, I've experienced that thing for, oh my God, I have this amazing life that I've built for myself. Then I saw what happened when it was taken away. And then I looked around and saw, okay, who's left? And the ones who stayed true to me are the ones who, for me, I always say, like, I owe so much to you. Like, you don't even know how much I owe to you. You don't even know how much I think about you, and I cherish, like, the fact that we have this relationship. And for me, what I want, my way of giving back would be to actually uplift you and the next generation to be able to kind of get to this mountaintop. Because if we get that together, suddenly you see we've kind of destroyed a lot of generational curses, a lot of narratives around Africans that are so negative. Like, at what point is it that people agree that it's okay to consistently show malnourished babies as Africans? At what point? You get what I mean? Who made that call? Who made that call for saying, as Africans, we don't have the capacity to uplift ourselves? And if I'm doing that in my own life, it means that even your son can do it. And you don't know who else he'll bring along the journey. And in years, that compounds. You don't change a community by inspiring 1 million people. You change a community by inspiring one person. Your immediate circle. Exactly. One person. One person. Once we start Mantalk and then we see another guy started it, what do? Come.
Yes.
Please, Beryl, where the cameras?
And we encourage you guys to do it. Right?
That's how you do it.
The fact that that's your philosophy and mindset just speaks to the reason as why this works, bro. Like, And
also Nikes. please. No. It's important. Sneakers are an important part of the mindset.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah. We are in our mid to late 20s. We had an amazing episode with Michael Shearer talking about fatherhood. And we all said...
This guy.
I'm on 4. I don't know what to say. Okay. And one of the things we even talked about afterwards, like, that's a stand-up like dad, right? That's a stand-up guy. And you're obviously doing all this self-development. You want to uplift other people's kids, etc. From what you've experienced in life, Oscar, from South Sea, now we're bringing it home. This is the home stretch. From South Sea to Gong to now the pod.
Yeah.
There's a vision you have for Oscar as a guy, right?
Yeah.
Through that journey, what's the lesson when Oscar is now accomplished, ready to have a child, and the child is 2 years old? It says, Dad, tell me about your life and what you learned from your life so far. What are you going to tell him?
Oh, okay. I thought I was going somewhere else. Thank God.
Oh, no, I was going somewhere else. I saw it. I said, let's not throw him on the lap.
What am I going to tell my 2-year-old son?
Yeah.
I'm going to tell him this. It's a very simple thing. It's a Swahili proverb that I'm starting to understand more and more. It goes, "Mwandatezi na omo, marajoni ngamani." Which means basically when men are fishing on a boat, so you go to the farthest end of the boat to fish, go to the left side of the bow, you'll go to the stern, but where you'll come back is right at the middle of that boat.
Right. Yeah.
So like, you always have to remember that to have your own center, to be centered around your community, your culture, your people, your values. Because you might go left and right around the world trying to achieve things, but in the end of the day, you're your own base, you're your own center. So you must have a sense of identity. And he is the descendant of 2 chiefs. I will throw that in there. Yeah. Meru. He is the descendant of 2 chiefs.
Yeah.
His is a lineage of great men. So the
blood is thick.
The blood is thick.
Yeah.
You know, it's not water.
Yeah. Facts.
So he must have his own sense of identity and his own sense of purpose. And whatever sense of purpose or sense of identity that is, I hope that I'm alive enough to see him live it through. And if I'm not, maybe he'll watch this back and know that that is the most important part of being a man in our culture. It is like you have your own sense of identity, you have your own sense of purpose. Because once you have that, the world will listen to you and you will not listen to the world.
Yeah.
Got it?
Yeah.
That's the answer.
Dude, thank you, man, for like sharing your story. I'm glad you evolved as I was evolving all the way over there in England, and that we met here and we're doing this. So yeah,
it's lightning, you know what I mean?
It's lightning, baby.
Yeah,
lightning, baby.
Hey,
yeah, come on. So that was Oscar. I hope you guys have enjoyed the story, the journey, and maybe now they understand why we speak like we speak, why he speaks like he speaks, and why we care so much about the platform.
Yeah,
because it's to do with that journey of growth and what we want to continue to do here. So yeah. That was an episode of Mantalk.ke.
Yeah.
Like, comment, subscribe, share.
Season 9.
Season 9.
Season 9.
It's deep.
And the best part is it drops in 2 parts, you know?
Hello. Thank you for watching. As always, thank you, Kafisi, for this lovely, lovely space. The link is down below if you want to come and have a nice co-working space. Very good rates as well. We'll see you on the next episode next week of Mantalk.ke.